My name is Sue Ellen Howard. I reside in the town of Canton, Bradford County, Pennsylvania. Over the past 8 years, the list of offenses committed by Magistrate Jonathan Wilcox against myself and my family and other targeted victims is lengthy. His most significant abuse of power has been his excessive extortion of money and ongoing harassment in the guise of Pennsylvania State's compulsory attendance law. Assisted by authorities of the Canton Area School District, who repeatedly bullied my children, he has imposed thousands of dollars in fines, selectively applied to vulnerable single mothers and other financially disadvantaged people. In my case, he demanded payment before scheduling a court date and denied me any legal assistance, stating that this privilege doesn't apply in such non-criminal cases. On one occasion, when I couldn't afford to pay for a court date, I was incarcerated. In July 2011, I was once again subpoenaed to appear on questionable charges of compulsory attendance violation. My eldest son had been treated for severe depression resulting from abusive school environment and ceased enrollment at Canton, and my boys began a cyber school program to continue their education. I was expected to pay a fine beyond my means prior to receiving a court date or be remanded to the Bradford County Correctional Facility. I called numerous politicians and public authorities, including the Department of Education and the Governor's Office, in seeking help. Each person with whom I spoke agreed that Wilcox's actions were improper, but claimed no ability to intervene. Finally, a civil rights attorney in Philadelphia made a call to the magistrate, reminding him of due process of law, and my court date was set without prior payment. When we appeared, Vice Principal Bruce Neifert, who was responsible for attendance records, was not present. Having taken an early retirement, the case was dismissed. To my dismay, Magistrate Wilcox found me guilty on a phony compulsory attendance charge for constable fees in the amount of $223.80. He based this on Statute 94, 2011. When I questioned the statute, he explained that it covered constable fees and that if I had shown up earlier, I wouldn't have to pay anything. Despite the fact that the constable had never met me or been to my house and had later failed to recognize me when he did meet me, the magistrate allowed me an extended time to pay. I heard nothing further from him until September 13th, 2011, when I arrived home to find my son upset and shaking. A man had broken into our house and refused to show him identification. He was accompanied by a woman whom he identified as his wife. He held my son and his girlfriend for nearly 2 hours while taking turns intimidating the kids and thoroughly searching every room, closet, and drawer without a warrant. This man was Constable Francis Salatino III, and he was sent to arrest me by Magistrate Wilcox because I hadn't paid the $223.80 for constable fees on a case that was dropped against me. The harassment didn't stop there. I insisted that my son go to the police station and fill out a report. So all three of us went to the police station, and Constable Salatino was called by the officer on duty. As the officer stood over us, he harassed my son for his social security number, his name, his age, and his birth date. In the end, my son stood up, wrinkled up his statement, threw it in the recycle bin, and said, "Mom, nobody here is going to help us." I gave Officer Salatino $399.03 so that he wouldn't take me to Bradford County Correctional Facility that night. The Borough Police Department, Investigator Hotstetler, and the District Attorney have refused to press charges for the illegal home invasion and the harassment of my children and myself. Constable Salatino has since been charged with rape, felony oppression, and many other charges by a state trooper. He was originally free on $20,000 unsecured bond, which meant he paid nothing. The district attorney has requested that all criminal charges against Salatino be dropped in exchange for suspending him indefinitely. Magistrate Wilcox has not yet been investigated for his practice of collecting supposed fees on drop cases and excessive amounts for constable fees and compulsory attendance charges. An audit of the magistrate, compared against paperwork that was given to defendants, would show discrepancies between actual receipts for fines paid and the amounts that were recorded on official record. My wish is that these men be brought to justice, and that a class action suit be brought against them in order to return the money that they have extorted from community members over the years. A long overdue constable review board should be put in place and overseen by federal authority. Most importantly, mandatory recording devices should be present in every courtroom and on every dashboard of every constable in order to deter from such abuses of power that stem from total lack of accountability that now exist in our state of Pennsylvania. My family and too many others have suffered educationally, financially, psychologically, and even physically because of the abuses of power and the corruption in our local judicial system. With your help, the recurring nightmares of the victims of such abuses could end. Corruption doesn't begin with a boot in the face. It works its way slowly, gets comfortable, and if it's left to its own arrogance, it will inevitably leave a trail of victims, as it has in Pennsylvania. Please help, and thank you for your consideration.